She said, "Why can't you be like Mia's fiance? He lets her spend whatever she wants." I replied, "Makes sense." Then I matched his energy by freezing every card with my name on it. Her face changed fast when the bank texted her about declined charges. I, 30 male, learned an expensive lesson about the difference between being generous and being a bank account with feelings. My girlfriend Haley, 28, and I had been together for 2 years. She worked part-time at a boutique, made about $24,000 a year. I'm a software project manager, pull in around $140,000 after taxes, not rich, but comfortable. The comparison started 6 months ago when her friend Mia got engaged to a guy named Preston. Preston owned a chain of car washes, drove a Porsche, bought Mia a Tesla for her birthday. Every time we saw them, Haley would come home different, quieter. Then the comments would start over the next few days. Preston lets Mia buy whatever she wants. He never questions her spending. He says a happy wife means a happy life. I'd shrug it off. Good for them, I'd say. But the comments kept coming. We'd be at dinner and she'd mention how Preston paid for Mia's entire closet renovation, $8,000, didn't even blink. Or how he added her to all his credit cards with no limits. Or how he surprised her with a vacation to Bali, first class, $15,000, just because. Each story came with this look, this expectant look, like I was supposed to match it. But here's the thing, I was already paying 80% of our living expenses. Rent, utilities, groceries, insurance, streaming services. Haley covered her car payment and her phone bill. That was it. Everything else landed on me. Last Tuesday changed everything. We were driving home from Mia and Preston's engagement party. Haley had been quiet the whole ride. Then she started, "Why can't you be like Preston?" Not this again. "He treats Mia like a queen. She doesn't have to worry about money. He handles everything." I kept driving. "We have different financial situations, Haley." "Do we? You make good money. You just don't want to spend it on me." "I pay for almost everything. Preston pays for literally everything. Mia doesn't even look at prices." "Good for Mia." She turned in her seat, fully facing me now. "I'm serious, Kai. Why can't you be more like him? Let me spend what I want. Stop making me feel guilty about buying things. Act like a real man who takes care of his woman." Something in my chest went cold. Real man, takes care of his woman. Like I hadn't been doing exactly that for 2 years. "Makes sense," I said quietly. She blinked. "What?" "Makes sense. You're right. I should match that energy." She smiled. Actually smiled. Like she'd won. "Really? You'll be more like Preston?" "Exactly like Preston." That night while Haley slept, I opened my banking app. I froze every joint account. I called my credit card companies and froze the cards she had as an authorized user. I removed her access to my investment accounts. I changed my direct deposit to a new checking account she'd never seen. By 3 a.m., her access to my money was completely severed. Then I documented everything. Screenshots of her texts comparing me to Preston over the last 6 months. A spreadsheet of every expense I'd covered. Bank statements showing the 80-20 split. I saved it all to a cloud drive and emailed copies to myself. When I was done, I felt calm. Surgical. The way you feel when you finally stop ignoring a problem and actually fix it. The next morning, Haley left for work at 9 a.m. I worked from home. At 10:47 a.m., my phone buzzed. A text from her. "My card was declined at Starbucks. Can you check if there's an issue?" I didn't reply. At 11:23 a.m., another text. "Kai, seriously, I tried to get gas and it declined again. What's going on?" At 12:15 p.m., she called. I answered. "My cards aren't working. Did you cancel them?" "No." "Then what happened?" "I froze my accounts." Long silence. "Why would you do that?" "I'm matching Preston's energy." "What are you talking about?" "You wanted me to be like Preston. Preston and Mia clearly have separate finances. She spends her money, he spends his. I'm doing the same thing. You spend yours. I'll spend mine." "That's not what I meant." "Then what did you mean?" "I meant you should let me use your money without questioning me." "That's not being like Preston. That's being an ATM." She hung up. At 1:20 p.m., she came home early. stormed through the door, face red. Unfreeze the cards, now. No. Kai, I'm serious. I have bills to pay. Pay them with your money. I don't have enough. That sounds like a budget problem. You're being ridiculous. I'm being exactly what you asked for. Independent finances. You handle yours. I handle mine. She started crying. I didn't mean it like that. I just wanted you to be more generous. I've been generous for 2 years. I pay 80% of everything. You wanted me to change, so I changed. Not like this. Exactly like this. She tried everything, crying, yelling, threatening. You're trapping me. This is financial abuse. I'll tell everyone what you're doing. I pulled out my phone, opened the spreadsheet. Tell them, here's every expense from the last 24 months. Here's every text where you compared me to Preston. Here's the bank statement showing I paid $67,000 more than you over 2 years. Tell whoever you want. Her face went white. She didn't know I'd been tracking it. That evening, her mom called. Diane, sweet woman, always liked me. Kai, honey, Haley called me crying. She said you cut her off. I didn't cut her off. I just stopped giving her access to my accounts. But she needs help. She has a job. She doesn't make enough to cover everything. That's not my problem anymore. Silence. Kai, that doesn't sound like you. The old me paid for everything and got compared to some guy I've never met. The new me sets boundaries. She's just going through something. She's going through entitlement, and I'm done enabling it. Diane sighed. Let me talk to her. Good luck. The next day, Haley tried a different approach. Came home from work all apologetic. Made dinner, something she hadn't done in months. Sat down across from me. I'm sorry I was being ungrateful. You do a lot for me. I see that now. Okay. Can we go back to normal? What's normal? You know, how we were. With me paying for everything while you complain I'm not Preston. She flinched. I won't complain anymore. That's not the point. The point is, you don't respect what I already do. You just want more. I'll change. No, you won't, because you don't think you're wrong. You think you're entitled to my money because we're dating. That's not fair. Fair. You want to talk about fair. Pull out your phone. She did, confused. Open your banking app. Show me your checking account balance. She hesitated. Why? Humor me. She opened it, turned the screen to me. $840. Now show me your savings. I don't have savings. Credit cards? She looked away. They're kind of maxed out. How much? $11,000. I pulled out my laptop, opened the spreadsheet. Here's where your money went for the last 6 months. $3,200 on clothes, $800 on restaurants and bars, $2,400 on beauty treatments, on $900 on concerts and events. You spent $9,300 on non-essentials while I covered your rent, groceries, and utilities. I'm allowed to enjoy my life. You are, with your money, not mine. She stood up. So what? We just split everything 50-50 now? I can't afford that. Then you'll need to make adjustments. Like what? Budget, cut expenses, get a second job, the same things adults do when they can't afford their lifestyle. You're punishing me. I'm setting a boundary. She grabbed her keys. I'm staying at Mia's tonight. Fine. She left. I sat there eating the dinner she'd made, feeling nothing. Just calm, like I'd been holding my breath for 2 years and finally exhaled. Update 1. Haley stayed at Mia's for 3 days. During that time, the texts came in waves. First, apologies. I'm sorry. I see what I did wrong. Can we please talk? Then accusations. You're being emotionally abusive. This is manipulation. I can't believe you're doing this. Then desperation. I can't afford my car payment. The insurance is due. Please, just this once. I didn't respond to any of them. On day 4, she showed up at my place with Mia. I opened the door. Both of them looked serious. We need to talk, Mia said. About what? About how you're treating Haley. I leaned against the doorframe. Go on, Mia launched in. You can't just cut her off like this. She depends on you. She shouldn't. That's not how relationships work. You support each other. I've been supporting her for 2 years. What's she been supporting? That's not the point. That's exactly the point. Tell me, Mia, what percentage of your expenses does Preston cover? She blinked. That's different. How? We have an understanding. What understanding? She looked uncomfortable. We split things. You split things. So Preston doesn't pay for everything? He pays for some things. I pay for some things. I looked at Haley. So Preston doesn't actually let you spend whatever you want. Haley went red. He treats her better than you treat me. Does he? Mia, show me your credit cards. Mia pulled back. That's personal. Haley told me Preston added you to all his cards with no limits. Show me. Mia looked at Haley. I never said that. You did. You told me he gave you unlimited access. No, I said he's generous. He helps me out sometimes. The silence was thick. Haley looked between us. But you said. I said Preston takes care of me. I never said he pays for everything. Mia's voice got sharp. You made assumptions, Haley. I let that sink in. So you've been comparing me to a fantasy version of Preston that doesn't exist. Haley's face crumbled. I didn't know. You didn't ask. You just assumed someone else had it better and demanded I match it. Mia stood. Come on, Haley. This isn't worth it. They left. I watched them go, feeling something like vindication. That night, I got a call from Preston. Yeah, that Preston. Hey, man. Mia told me what happened. Wanted to reach out. Okay. Look, I don't know what Haley told you about how I handle money, but for the record, Mia and I split most things 60-40. I make more, so I cover more. But she has her own accounts, her own bills, her own responsibilities. Good to know. She's been telling Haley stories, making it sound like I'm some sugar daddy. I'm not. I'm just a guy who's engaged to someone who pulls her weight. Appreciate you calling. No problem. Also, Haley asked Mia if she could borrow $2,000. Mia said no. Smart, he laughed. Good luck, man. Boundaries are important. The next day, Haley came back. Didn't have anywhere else to go. She'd been staying in Mia's guest room, but Mia had told her 3 days was the limit. She walked in, set her bag down, didn't make eye contact. We need to figure this out. Agreed. I can't afford my bills this month. Then you'll need to make changes. Like what? Cancel subscriptions, sell things, pick up extra shifts. I shouldn't have to do that. You're 28 years old with $11,000 in credit card debt and no savings. Yeah, you should. She sat on the couch, looked defeated. What if I can't? Then you'll face the consequences. Late fees, collections, repossession. Whatever happens to people who don't pay their bills, you're really not going to help? Not anymore. The next week was brutal. Her car insurance lapsed. She had to borrow her sister's car. Her gym membership got canceled. The subscription boxes stopped coming. She wore the same outfits twice, 3 times. No more impromptu shopping trips. No more brunches with unlimited mimosas. She was living on her actual income for the first time in 2 years, and she hated it. Update 2. It's been 3 weeks since the freeze. Haley moved out last Friday, went back to her mom's place, said she couldn't live with someone so cold and heartless. I helped her pack, didn't argue. The truth is, watching her struggle opened my eyes. Not in a cruel way, in a necessary way. She'd built a lifestyle on my money and convinced herself it was normal, that she deserved it, that asking her to contribute equally was somehow abuse. After she left, I got a call from her sister Brooke. Different energy than Diane. I owe you an apology. For what? For not seeing what was happening. Haley's been living here for a week, and it's been eye-opening. How so? She expects everything. Asks me to pay for her gas, her food, her phone bill. When I say no, she throws a fit. Says everyone in her life is turning against her. Classic. My mom's at her wit's end. Haley won't look for a second job, won't cut expenses, just complains about how you ruined her life. I didn't ruin anything. I stopped funding it. I know, and honestly, you did her a favor. That surprised me. How do you figure? She's 28. She's never had to budget, never had to sacrifice, never had to be accountable. You were enabling that. Her mom thinks I'm the bad guy. My mom enables her too. We all do. But someone had to stop. It might as well have been you. A few days later, I ran into Mia at a coffee shop. She was alone, looked uncomfortable when she saw me. Hey, hey, can we talk for a second? I sat. Sure. She fidgeted with her cup. I need to apologize. I didn't realize Haley was using our relationship to manipulate you. It's fine. It's not. I would talk about things Preston did for me, and she'd twist them, make it sound like he did everything. I never corrected her because I didn't think she'd use it against you. Did you know she was maxing out credit cards? Mia looked down. I knew she spent a lot. I didn't know it was that bad. She's $11,000 in debt, no savings, living off my income while comparing me to your fiancé. Preston feels terrible. He never meant to be held up as some standard. Not his fault. Haley created that standard herself. Mia nodded. For what it's worth, I told her she needs therapy. She needs to figure out why she thinks she's entitled to someone else's money. Good luck with that. But the best update came from an unexpected source. My buddy Derek, who works in finance. He ran into Haley at a bar. She was with some guy, buying drinks on his tab, playing the same game. Derek texted me. She's already moved on, new target acquired. I wasn't even mad, just relieved it wasn't me anymore. Last week I got a message request on social media, the guy from the bar. His name was Tyler. Hey man, don't know if you remember me, but I'm the guy dating Haley. I remembered him from some party. What's up? I need to ask you something. She says you were financially abusive. That or you cut her off without warning and left her homeless. Is that true? I sent him screenshots. The spreadsheet showing 2 years of expenses, the text comparing me to Preston, the bank statements, all of it. Jesus Christ. Yeah. She told me you made $300,000 and refused to share any of it. I make $140,000, and I shared 80% of the bills. She said you forced her to quit her job. She works part-time by choice. Always has. I feel like an idiot. Don't. She's good at the game. Thanks for the heads up, man. He broke up with her that night. I know because Haley called me, screaming. You ruined my life. Tyler broke up with me because of you. Tyler broke up with you because you lied to him. I didn't lie. You told him I made $300,000. You told him you were homeless. You told him I forced you to quit a job you never had. Those are exaggerations. They're lies. Why do you have to ruin everything? Why do you have to be a victim? She hung up. Update 3. It's been 2 months. Haley is still at her mom's. According to Brooke, she finally got a second job, waitressing at a chain restaurant. Hates it, complains constantly, but she's paying her bills. Slowly. Her credit cards are still maxed. Her car insurance is still lapsed, but she's making minimum payments and not starving. Progress, I guess. Her mom called me last week. Diane, I need to apologize. You don't need to. I do. I blamed you for cutting Haley off, but seeing her here, seeing how she acts when she doesn't get her way, I understand now. She's your daughter, Diane. You're supposed to support her. Support, yes. Enable, no. I've been enabling her for 28 years. Never made her work for anything. Never made her budget. Never made her sacrifice. She doesn't know how to be an adult. It's not too late to learn. I hope you're right. But Kai, can I ask you something? Sure. Did you love her? I thought about it. I did. But I loved the version of her that existed before the comparisons, before the entitlement. Once that showed up, it was hard to see anything else. I understand. Well, for what it's worth, you're a good man. You did the right thing. Thanks, Diane. The most unexpected fallout came from my own social circle. Some of my friends thought I was too harsh. You could have just talked to her. I did for 6 months. You could have compromised. I did. For 2 years. You could have been more understanding. About what? The fact that she wanted to spend my money without consequences? But other friends got it. Derek said, financial compatibility is as important as emotional compatibility. You two were never aligned. My coworker Rachel said, setting boundaries isn't punishment, it's self-respect. My sister said, if she really loved you, she wouldn't have compared you to someone else. The person who surprised me most was Preston. He and I grabbed beers a few weeks ago. Just two guys who got tangled up in the same drama. Mia feels terrible, he said. Tell her to stop. It's not her fault Haley created a fantasy. I know, but still. She didn't realize how her words were being weaponized. None of us did. He told me about their actual financial arrangement. They split most things 60-40 based on income. They have a joint account for shared expenses. They each have personal accounts for discretionary spending. They discuss big purchases together. It's not glamorous, Preston said. But it works. That's the thing. Haley wanted glamorous. She wanted Instagram. She wanted the appearance of wealth without the work. Yeah, Mia told me Haley used to ask her to stage photos for social media. Make it look like I'd bought her things I hadn't. Seriously? Dead serious. Mia would borrow my watch for a photo, or hold up some shopping bags she'd bought herself, just to keep up appearances. That's exhausting. Tell me about it. We talked for a while about relationships and money and expectations. Preston said something that stuck with me. The problem is people see the highlight reel and think it's the whole movie. They don't see the budget meetings, the compromises, the arguments. They just see the Tesla and think that's love. Yeah, you did the right thing, man. Boundaries are love. Without them, you're just a bank. Final update. It's been 6 months. Life has moved on. Haley is still at her mom's, but from what I hear, she's doing better. She paid off one credit card. She's saving a little. She's learning to live within her means. Not because she wants to, because she has to. I'm seeing someone new. Her name is Simone. She's a marketing director. Makes about what I make. Maybe a little more. When we went on our first date, she insisted we split the check. I don't need anyone to pay for me, she said. I'm an adult with a job. I might have fallen in love right there. We've been together for 3 months. We split everything 50-50. Rent, utilities, dinners, vacations. She has her budget. I have mine. We respect each other's financial boundaries. It's not romantic in the traditional sense, but it's healthy. And after Haley, healthy feels revolutionary. Last month, I ran into Haley at a grocery store. She looked different, thinner, tired, but sober, in a way she hadn't been before. Hey. Awkward silence. How are you? I asked. Okay, getting by. You? Good, really good. She nodded. I heard you're seeing someone. I am. That's great. I'm happy for you. She didn't sound happy. She sounded defeated. Haley, for what it's worth, I hope you're doing well. I am. I'm trying. It's hard. I know. Do you? She looked at me. Do you know what it's like to go from having everything to having nothing? You didn't have nothing. You had a job. You had options. You just didn't want to use them. She looked away. I'm sorry for everything, for the comparisons, for taking advantage, for not seeing what I had. Thank you. Can I ask you something? Sure. Did you freeze those accounts to teach me a lesson? I thought about it. No, I froze them to protect myself. The lesson was a byproduct. She nodded. Well, I learned it, for what it's worth. Good. She walked away. I watched her go, feeling something like closure. That night, Simone asked me about Haley. I told her the whole story. She listened, didn't interrupt. When I finished, she said, You know what's wild? What? She wanted you to be like Preston. But Preston has boundaries. She just didn't know because she never saw them. Yeah. So by setting boundaries, you actually did become like Preston, just not the version she'd imagined. I laughed. I guess that's true. The problem is, she wanted the fantasy, the unlimited credit cards, the free ride. That doesn't exist. Not with Preston, not with anyone who's financially responsible. Exactly. She squeezed my hand. I'm glad you learned that before you married her. Me too. A few weeks ago, I got a message from Brooke. Haley's dating someone new. His name is Chad. He works in tech, makes decent money. Good for her. She's different with him, more careful, not making the same demands. That's progress. Yeah, I think you breaking up with her was the wake-up call she needed. She's not fixed, but she's better. Good. I meant it. I don't hate Haley. I never did. I just couldn't enable her anymore. And sometimes the most loving thing you can do is let someone face the consequences of their choices. Simone and I are moving in together next month. We've already discussed the budget. She's covering 50% of rent and utilities. I'm covering the other 50%. We're splitting groceries and shared expenses. We each keep our own accounts. We each handle our own debt. It's boring. It's practical. It's perfect. To anyone dealing with a partner who compares you to someone else, who demands you change to match some imaginary standard, remember this. You're not a bank. You're not an ATM. You're a person with your own financial goals and boundaries. And anyone who truly loves you will respect that. Preston called me last week, said he and Mia are getting married in a few months, invited me and Simone. I want you to meet the real version of us, he said, not the fantasy version Haley created. We're going. I'm actually looking forward to it. Some rings start wars, some comparisons end relationships, and sometimes the best revenge is just living well with someone who values you for who you are, not what you provide. Haley wanted me to be like Preston. I became like Preston. I set boundaries. I protected my finances. I stopped enabling. It just wasn't the version she'd imagined. And honestly, I'm exactly where I deserve to be, with someone who splits the check, who has her own money, who doesn't need me to fund her life, just to share it. That's the real happy ending, not the fantasy, the reality, the partnership, the respect. Some lessons cost $11,000 in credit card debt. Some cost $67,000 in subsidized living. Mine cost the price of freezing a few accounts. Best investment I ever made.